YouTube.
Checking it out.
Okay, great to see so many people here.
Okay, everything's set. We're ready to go, guys.
Yeah. So this will be a Q&A. You can ask any questions about publishing or the Las Vegas event that we will be hosting on October 25 to 26. This is the last 24 hours of the early bird price of $497. After that, the price goes up to $797. So this is the last chance to get the tickets for Las Vegas for 36% off. And at the end of the Q&A, we will also have a raffle. So you can write Vegas in the chat or in the Zoom and also in the YouTube Live if you're watching it there. And then you can win a full ticket for the full 2 days Vegas event. Okay, let's begin with the questions.
One small thing on the YouTube live stream, I'm currently in full screen, so I think you should put the gallery view inside Zoom. But otherwise, chat is open, guys. Feel free to drop your questions, any questions regarding publishing or the Vegas event inside the chat. Also starting to collect the names for the raffle. Nice to see so many people interested.
Nice, already in Vegas.
I see one question in the chat. Maybe we can kick it off with this one. How can we leverage Rufus for us publishers?
All right, I think that's a question for Gerald, Andre. Maybe you have experience on that, or Tim. Have any of you thought about this question?
I'm thinking that Rufus basically relies on all the customer data that Amazon has and recommends based on that. I think as everything else, considering the performance of the book, it depends on the reviews, of course. I think it gets a lot of data also from customer data through reviews. But I also guess, I'm not 100% sure, I don't know exactly how the Rufus algorithm or the data analysis that it does works, but I would imagine that it recommends better selling books more than worse selling books. Hard to say anything to that. Any other opinions?
I have the feeling so far it doesn't change a lot, but I also think that we in Europe, Austria, Germany, etc., we are limited to the functionalities of it. So I don't know if Tim, you and I even can see the full scope, or Peter also can't see the full scope. Maybe Gerald and BJ can talk if it can do more, if it also have some usage in the search, because I've seen Rufus only in the review section where it's summing up everything the reviewers wrote, and that's, I think, a great thing they added. So the green check marks and what the book does right based on the reviews. So how can we leverage that? Just have higher quality reviews, people who really like the book writing long reviews. The Rufus has more data to use and make a better short AI description or summary of all the reviews. I think that's how I try to use it, but I don't know if it else influences the search in any way. At least I think we can't see that here because the EU blocks a lot of AI features on Amazon, on OpenAI. All these AI tools are very limited in Europe compared to the US.
From my end, I haven't tested it yet. I need to look into it. I know ChatGPT opened up ChatGPT Merchant recently. So you search something and you're able to upload products to ChatGPT. Maybe it will make it so that Rufus can do the same and just connect easier to products and just buy from Rufus directly. I'm not sure. I'll look into it, but Yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
I've also gathered all the Las Vegas questions that we had in school and anywhere else, and I have a list of that so we can switch between the live stream questions and the general Vegas questions if you like. We also got one in the chat. What are the hours for the conference? So I guess when do we start and when does it end?
So we start at 10 in the morning and we end at 6.
It's a VIP attendee. The day will be a little bit longer for you because after the event, we will have a dinner on both days, 25th, 26th, with all the VIP attendees and all the speakers. Yep.
For the VIP, there was like a cocktail before. Is it a night before? Something?
Exactly, yeah. That the VIP members, they also have access to a cocktail party, which is the evening before the event, so on the 24th.
Okay.
Exactly. I know that you're a VIP, BJ. Looking forward to cocktail party.
Okay, first question I wrote down from the community. How exactly will the Vegas event help me to grow my publishing business? What can I learn there?
Yeah, so in the speeches, of course, we will have many different strategies. We'll have TikTok Shop, we will have a Helium 10 rep coming, and there will be many specific strategies. Now, what I think is underrated are the conversations in between the speeches or in the workshops, for example, or just when we're having lunches or whatnot. I think those times are very precious in terms of getting insights that people might be hesitant to share, for example, on a live Zoom or on YouTube, etc. So that's one thing, and of course the potential connections can also lead to partnerships or cooperation in different ways. Andre, Gerald, Tim, anything to add?
What I liked in Barcelona a lot was that people are way more open to share their books and their success stories. So because they're in person, it's more private setting, and then you can learn a little bit more in detail because they have a concrete example. It's not just theory. They say, okay, that's the book. It has 6K BSR. That's how I did it. They're proud for the product, as we all are, but normally publishers online are a bit hesitant to share that. And if they're all in the same room, then a lot of advanced publishers are more open to share at least some of their books, and that was really interesting to see in Barcelona.
That's really cool that you mentioned that, Andre. I always say this story, but when I was starting out, I went to an event in Cancun where I met Jacob. He's a friend of mine, and he was doing publishing at the time. He still is kind of, right? But before he was really into it, and I remember I was making like 1.8K a month, like struggling, um, kind of barely making it by. And he just looked at my books. He was like, "Yo, just do this, this, and this." And literally, I went back home. I did the things because I had seen someone see my books, validated what was working, told me exactly what to do, what not to do. And that Q4, I remember, was my first 13.5K a month on December, like 2 months later after the event, right? So I mean, that was really awesome. I think the event paid itself off. And on this event in Barcelona, I met everyone. I'm an agency owner as well. I work with Tim, for instance. Although we met before that, I think we also became more close in the event in Barcelona, right? So yeah, I mean, there's many ways to monetize an event if your worry is can it make ROI from an event? It definitely can in ways you might not even imagine at first. That would be my answer.
Yeah, great answer.
Completely agree on that. Maybe I can mention I will also have a speech in Las Vegas. Some of you might know me from the YouTube interviews. I think my strength is basically leveraging AI as much as possible in every step in every area of self-publishing, if it's marketing or book production. And so my presentation will be, I will basically show my workflow for everything: outline creation, writing, marketing, A+ content, video ads. Yeah, I will give you a detailed overview of how I approach stuff and how I systemize them. Yeah.
Okay, the next question from BJ. He writes question for Andre, but I think also Gerald can answer that perfectly. What are your best methods to find the best keywords and ASINs using Helium 10 for Amazon ads? I do that before Gerald can explain it in more detail. I do that very simple. The keywords I get by typing in the search terms myself in the Amazon search. And thanks to Helium 10, you don't only have like the few recommendations, you have this big page of recommendations there. And I get most of my keywords from there. Actually, it's very simple. I guess Cerebro would be more. Sometimes I also go to Cerebro and double check and stuff, but it's easier for me and it works well. And ASINs, it's similar way. I search for my main keyword, rank for BSR, and then take the top 10 to 20 books, and then I make a ASIN campaign out of them. I do it very, very basically.
Okay, cool.
You want my version, perhaps also?
Yeah, you answered, but if you can add more, I know you answered
Okay.
early in the morning, but if you can answer more, that'd be great for everyone.
Well, I also do very similarly. I do very similarly to Andre. I also use Blackbox, which is a Helium 10 tool for finding niches. The equivalent on Bookbeam would be Niche Finder. So Niche Finder is very similar to Blackbox. What Blackbox does, you put in some characteristics and it finds you products like this. So you can ask Blackbox, I want a book for children under $13, more than $10, that is making $3,000 a month in sales, that has less than 50 reviews. And Blackbox will give you all of the products that meet that criteria. And obviously, what I just mentioned is actually very good, right? Books under 100 reviews, making more than $3,000 in sales per month. Very easy to compete with. Children's books, very easy to create. You can create some of them, and that's how you find some good niches that way. And then I could go and do the Andre approach as well. Take the books that I find, type in the main keyword, find the keyword. So you can connect actually both strategies like this. So that would be my approach, I guess.
Cool, thank you.
That's pretty much, Gerald summed it up. I basically copied Gerald there, and it's also working really well for me, this black box approach.
Okay, next question I have here is what will the price be after the early bird discount if I don't buy tomorrow? I think you mentioned that in the beginning.
Yeah,
Goes
797.
To 797, yeah.
Currently, it is still at 497.
Yeah. Next general question from Zoom. Tim, if you have YouTube questions, you can also interrupt me. I only see Zoom and the list I made, so.
And we currently have no questions on YouTube.
What is the general launch strategy you recommend for a new book? It's a very general question, but maybe you have a good answer.
General launch strategy for a book? Well, it depends on how specific you want to go, but we ideally want to launch the ebook first, get a couple of reviews, say 20 to 30, and then we launch the paperback, we launch the Amazon ads. I personally launch, or my Amazon ads person launches keyword ads, product ads, auto ads, and then hopefully also video ads. Depends. Those usually come after a while, but that's the general launch strategy. And then, of course, if you have an email list, you send out an email to your email list, you promote on social media, But if you don't have an email list, then the positioning that you have chosen is hopefully good enough and the niche is good enough. So just with Amazon ads, you will start to see sales.
I think Gerald's perspective as the Amazon ads agency owner and expert would be great on that. I know that Gerald has some crazy aggressive launch strategies sometimes. The legend.
You felt that.
Thanks, man. I think what we can do also to add to Peter, what Peter was saying is that perhaps you can also target a specific BSR or a specific keyword. So we all create keyword-based books. But what this means is that we're creating a book because we want to rank number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a particular keyword because our research is made based on a keyword. So our launch objective is actually to end up as number 1, number 2, number 3 on a keyword. So what do we do to get this? Just make sure that always when you're launching, you're using helium 10 keywords that are validated to make your book sell. They're not 100% validations, but they can be very close. And you want to activate a keyword exact campaign for those. So whenever I'm launching, I always have my keyword exact for ranking, for positioning, for SEO ranking. And that campaign, that keyword campaign, I hardly ever touch it. It's almost sacred to me because I want to keep it so that my books are always ranking for those particular keywords, right? And usually here I will have also my main keyword. And all the other campaigns that I have, they are designed to average the ACoS down. So whenever we activate exact campaigns, usually our ACoS will be high, like 60, 70, 80, 90%. The goal for my other campaigns is to run so that we are able to get sales from them a bit cheaper, maybe at break even or slightly below break even, so that the overall ACoS of my entire console is within an acceptable range. Let me give you a quick example. I'm doing how to draw dogs. That's my book. My keyword exact campaign has how to draw dogs, how to draw dogs for kids, etc. And then all my other campaigns are massive campaigns, broad phrases, product expanded categories, multi-ASIN, multi-formats. And their objective is to just get sales at very cheap ACoS so that the overall ACoS is still within an acceptable range and I'm able to maintain my exact keyword campaign as long as possible. That's the gist of it, I would say.
Okay, next one. As a participant, can I also have one-on-one conversations with the speakers or other successful publishers directly?
Yes, as a VIP, you get to have that. And we also have workshops for normal attendees where we will go around. So yes, definitely, you will get a chance to speak with the speakers. Now, that's anything to add there. We can't promise a certain amount of time unless there's a VIP, of course, but
Yeah,
Joe?
it's just a natural exchange in a way. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
speakers who don't speak are in a room with you, and you can talk to them if you like. It's very open communication there. So it's, yeah, very flexible.
As Peter already mentioned, we will have, I believe it's 2 workshop sessions on day 1 and day 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those will be especially for like getting guidance. But also we will have coffee breaks. Last time in Barcelona, during the coffee breaks, there were a lot of conversations going on. So yeah, you will for sure have the chance to talk to the speakers.
Okay, next question. An influencer tells me he wins 2,000 from promoting a book from the concurrent, from the concurrent. 1,000 copies sold. I think it's on TikTok Shop. I don't have TikTok Shop. I mean, Canada, I can't. What's the best way to collaborate with him and others without paying a lot of money now? That's like influencer marketing and how to do that. No, TikTok Shop has this link of affiliate system, so you can use a TikTok affiliate system with TikTok Shop. But the question is how you can use influencers without TikTok Shop in general for KDP.
I think that's a question for the TikTok expert that will be attending Las Vegas. And we also have the manager, general manager of TikTok Shop. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gerald, but I think he's the general manager, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
For
I think
publishing in TikTok Shop. So TikTok Shop
Yeah,
has
exactly.
different categories of products, and we have the manager for books, for
Okay.
book publishing.
I think the official title is Head of Books and Media for TikTok Shop. That's the official title, I believe.
Yeah. No, I don't think we can give a great answer unless we've done it ourselves. So unless anyone knows any secondhand information that might be useful
Yeah,
in
but
this.
the question is without TikTok Shop, so just general influencer marketing. I think Gerald told us a few months ago he tried, I think on Instagram a post, but else I know I've never tried it myself and know nobody who has successfully done an influencer cooperation just with KDP. So yeah, I also don't
Maybe
think it has that much potential. Maybe in some very special cases, but for most publishers, there are many other things that have more leverage than working with influencers.
I'm currently in the process of setting my TikTok shop up for my books. I can maybe share how I get this arranged. I'm from Germany.
Yeah,
I have
but
the
again, the question isn't about TikTok. It's about doing it without TikTok. The person can't use TikTok Shop. So the question is, how does the person use influence in general? So
I mean, I have the same issue. I can't use TikTok Shop, so I want to explain my workaround how I got to use TikTok Shop. I basically found somebody from the UK who was able to use TikTok Shop, and I know I have a collaboration with him. He has a certain royalty share, and he gives me the chance to publish the books on through his TikTok Shop, basically. So the option is
Now,
find.
imagine you don't have access to TikTok Shop. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tim. So I think what Tim means, okay, if you don't have TikTok Shop, you can still get it through a collaboration. Now, what if you do not want to get it at all? Well, I do know a lot of people have been maybe like the Bobby Kim approach, right? You can create multiple accounts and start publishing content. So if I don't know how well it is to actually just go up to an influencer and collaborate with him. I've tried this before. I have failed, even though the metrics were good. It's just to try and test, try and test. Maybe you can offer to pay the influencer, etc., but it's not guaranteed. The best guarantee you could have is to just do the content yourself and stick to it long enough so that it works for you. But it is very time consuming, so I would do this as a second priority thing. But if you want more information in the event, we have someone who's an expert at this, also at TikTok content creation. So I think he's the best to ask about this, right?
okay. I have a couple of books that sell on Amazon, but the ads are so expensive. Should I also advertise my books on other platforms?
Facebook could be a way to advertise. I personally use primarily Amazon, so Amazon ads. I think that's the most cost-effective way to advertise, but of course Facebook ads, you have seen some great results with Andre, but it's never been more or less expensive than Amazon ads, or have it? It's more so that you get an initial or an extra boost that makes it worth it.
Yeah, Facebook ads are purely strategic, a pure strategic decision because external traffic boosts your organic ranking higher, and then if you make 2 sales a day on Facebook and you pay $10-20 for these 2 sales, you are profitable through the Facebook ads, but these 2 sales are often enough in a smaller niche to rank at the top 1 spot organically, and then you get all the organic sales for this book. So it's a complete imbalance on how few sales you need to rank incredibly high in your niche. So if Facebook ads work for one of your books, then it's a crazy organic boost. It doesn't work for any book. I do it, it works for 1 out of 3 books. But if it works, it's like it feels like a cheat code. So that's really impressive. I also have a speech in Las Vegas where I talk about the Facebook ad strategy there. But yeah, in general, external traffic does that. So also, if you are good at TikTok, TikTok has the same effect because it's also external traffic. So all external traffic, also an email list, has this boost in organic ranking. The next question I wrote down in document. What preparation do you recommend for participants to get the most out of the 2 days?
What preparations? Come open to learn. I think, yeah, that's the main preparation, and we will be providing notebooks. What else? Do we have anything specific in terms of preparation? I think showing up and having a good attitude is more than enough. But perhaps you have something to add.
Yeah, maybe prepare specific questions or select a book that you maybe are willing to share and ask a particular question about that book, because this precise question normally have the biggest impact, as Gerald mentioned from his own experience when he had a person looking over his catalog of books. That was the biggest improvement for his publishing journey. So maybe you can prepare there a little bit, but else, as Peter said, it's just the mindset in a way that you attend the event.
Yeah, and that's a great. The more you can
I agree with
show.
the mindset part, perhaps.
Go ahead, Gerald.
Sorry about that. I think I'm lagging. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just really quickly, if you can try to make friends before coming to the event, I think that helps so that when you're at the event, you already broke the ice with some people and you can hang out. You're not kind of like shy and not talking to anyone, but you already talked to them. So there's kind of like a bridge and you can make friends and just make as many friends as you can. And lastly, I would always come to an event like this with an intention. So like have the intention ready in your mind. Okay, what I want to get out of this event, for example, is the TikTok operation. I want a specific TikTok SOP. That's my goal, right? So that you can actually make sure that the event ends and you've already achieved your goal, and not so much just go and let whatever happen. I think an intention is also a good strategy to have.
That's a great point. And take notes and really reflect on how you can implement everything. And like Andre mentioned, if you're willing to show your books, that's always helpful for us, because it's different when we get a question and it's just words, but when we see your book, we can look at the book cover, we can see the title, we can see how many reviews you have, we can even look at the Amazon Ads dashboard. Now we might want to be careful logging into KDP all under the same Wi-Fi. I don't think that's a good idea, but they're yeah, I think those things are useful, so you can get feedback.
Also in the workshop sessions, we have smaller groups, and each speaker and roundtable speaker we have has like a group of 3, 4, maybe 5 people, and there you can share your books if you like in a more private space, so not all attendees can see it, of course. Another question, 2 more things about logistics. Is there a shuttle from airport to hotel? The hotel is, or the event venue is 8 minutes by car from the airport. So an Uber or something similar is, I think, the best solution. Also, the venue itself, I think, don't has any rooms more, but there are a lot of really cheap. I was amazed how cheap the hotels in Vegas are, but very cheap, but still good hotels around it, where you walk like 5 minutes to the venue. So that's not a problem at all. And the second part of the question is, any coffee lunch breaks, or do we have to take care of that ourselves? We have coffee breaks. We also have, I think we have lunch together, but you need to pay for the lunch yourself. And at the, correct me if I'm wrong, Gerald, you have the details there. And at the evening we have dinner with all the VIP people, and the normal event participants can also make groups and go into restaurants and have dinner together. So in Barcelona, we didn't plan that in detail, and it worked perfectly. Everyone has his small group, people he connected with, and then they made like small masterminds in the evening while having dinner together.
Also important to mention that it also goes together with what Gerald mentioned with the connect with people beforehand. If you decide to get a ticket for Las Vegas, you will automatically be invited to a WhatsApp group where all the attendees communicate with each other. Those groups will also be used to coordinate the event a little bit. But here in this group, people are already starting to connect, sharing their story a little bit. So yeah, that's the way.
Next one, doc on the event itself. What will be covered during that time?
All right, what will be covered? So we will cover AI for publishing, different Amazon ad strategies, TikTok Shop with the head of books for TikTok Shop, bonuses, email list building and email nurturing, hiring freelancers to build systems, niche research with Helium 10 Rep, Facebook ads to increase your book sales and boost organic ranking.
I've pasted the link to the event in the chat. There is like a day 1 schedule, day 2 schedule. There you can see everything.
And we have some great roundtable speakers coming as well. We have Barry, as many of you might be aware of. I just spoke earlier today with Brian. He has, you will see if you watch the YouTube video, he had one book that has generated over $1 million in royalties. I think that's an interesting story. BJ here is on the call. He will be attending as well. He was also interviewed on the channel just not too long ago. So we also have from many different communities as well. So Gerald, you mentioned Jacob before, he will come as well. And yeah, I think there will be a lot of interesting people. So.
Okay, next one. Is there an option for watching the event live?
No, there's no option for that.
However, the event will be recorded, and if you have the chance to buy the recordings, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I think with a normal ticket you also get the recordings after. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the recordings of the speeches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you buy early bird tickets, so we have 24 hours left there, you get the recordings of the Barcelona event. So we have a few bonuses for all the early bird ticket buyers. There's also Barcelona event recordings and more on the website. You can find more about that. Next one would be, what platform do you use to get book reviews, like video reviews?
Video reviews. Tim, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can maybe say from my perspective, I've gathered some video reviews through test readers. Test readers, they are generally, because you have like direct message contact with them, it's a more personal relationship, and they feel much more motivated to actually leave than a video review for you, tell you their honest opinion, or also many picture reviews. Surprisingly many like selfie picture reviews. For example, I have a children's book, and I've got some parents with the children more or less posing for the book without me directly asking for that. So yeah, I found that the test reader strategy has a good conversion rate when it comes to getting picture and video reviews.
Yeah, the basic strategy there is you find people from your target audience who would like to buy the book, and then you offer them that they can order the paperback, the real physical book, and you then reimburse them their cost for the book. Then they have the real book, and in exchange, you just get a personal feedback from them. So how they like the book. And then if that feedback is positive, you ask them if they would be so nice and leave a review on Amazon. That's not a must, but you just ask them, and 9 out of 10, if they gave positive feedback, will do that. And you can also ask, maybe you can include a video or an image. And it's amazing how many images and videos you got. It's expensive because you of course need to pay the reimbursement for them, but it's worth the images you get. I have some books with 20 reviews that have 15 images. Of course, some people post 3 or 4 images, so it adds up, but it's, yeah, looks so high quality if you scroll down to the reviews and you see these many images. I know books that have 200 reviews and 0 images or video reviews, and that has a weird feeling to me. So if you want high review quality, test reviews are a perfect way to go.
I can maybe, before we jump to the next question, I can chip in one YouTube question.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the strategy to attach your book with another best-selling book so it can sell along with the best-selling book?
Product ads.
It's also the first thing that came to mind. I think in general, it's more or less making a great book for a similar keyword or a related keyword that might result in you being listed in the people bought together.
My niche research focuses a lot of attack points, so seeing what weaknesses the main competitor has. And if you really focus on working against his weaknesses, so making exactly what he does wrong better, and everything else at best at the same level than he does, but especially his weaknesses you do better. And then you can run product ads, and then the product ads will convert by far. For me, the product ads are normally the most profitable ads, because I think I nailed the attack of the competition. And then you often have in customer also bought, you then are with this main competitor, which is also a sales boost. That's how I use big books from my niche, big competitors, yeah, to boost my own sales.
Yeah, great advice.
Okay, next one would be, what experiences did participants have at the Barcelona event? Were there any measurable successes in the month that followed? I think
Yes.
we could share the video there, the Barcelona video.
Give me a second. I'll share my screen for that. Let me know if you have sound. 1 second. Sound is working?
No sound.
No. Let me share again. Share sound. Sound now?
Yeah.
Boom.
This has been a great shot because I met people from all over the world, and sharing the experiences, finding out the ways in which we operate, because it's not that we compete against each other, we are working in a similar market and we can share our experiences, is invaluable.
There's been a lot of really good strategies and some real jaw-dropping nuggets actually through the course of this event that I certainly will be implementing in what I'm doing. The point of these kind of events is that it serves as a kind of compressed refresher really.
Well, I recommend come to these events because you will know too many things about how to improve your publications, books, and also know strategies that help to. For me, it was very good in the sense of the covers, the ads, and also about how find niches. I really recommend it.
So this is really the next level questions that are answered, how to bring you really forward. The group is amazing, the energy here is amazing, and feels like a family, yeah.
I learned a lot. My worry was that as an experienced publisher, I'm looking for only advanced stuff. But the advanced strategies that I learned in this 2-day workshop, I think they will take my business to the next level.
It's been great because, like, again, like I've done everything by myself all these years, and just being around other publishers who are at a whole different level, it just makes me realize, wow, I got to take my business seriously, a lot more seriously, and there's so much room to grow.
Doesn't matter the level of success, everybody is answering your question with a smile, and they always have time to answer questions. So, absolutely mind-blowing.
Just absolutely packed with information, with guest speakers, with Danny and Barry, just all gold nuggets all the way, and it was worth every penny getting here, so I'm extremely pleased.
A lot of good info, to be honest, but also a lot of good people that you can learn from one-on-one, just exchanging ideas and learning different strategies.
So I have to admit, it always hypes me up more watching this video for the next event. It was a great time in Barcelona. I will probably never forget this.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of measurable successes, Andre, he presented on his Facebook ad strategy in Barcelona. And one of the participants, he used it to get one of his book, the 3 organic spots for a keyword with tens of thousands of search volume. And now it has a stable BSR of around 20,000 to 10,000. So that was a measurable result from the event, one of the attendees. And these things, they also tend to have a ripple effect. It's you never know what thing will change your business. I was at an event in 2019 where I met Gerald for the first time, and now we're sitting here, and probably we wouldn't be sitting here with Gerald, and Gerald being a part of DPE like he is and being involved like this, if I didn't meet him first in 2019. So you never know how it will benefit you.
Sure. Completely agree with this. Sorry, just to chime in. And thanks, Peter. And yeah, I met Peter in 2019. Complete game changer. Not at the moment, I didn't realize it. Now I realize it. It's so awesome that I was able to take part of this event. Now, I do think at the same time, Icons 1K a day came like a few months, like 1 or 2 months after Barcelona. Correct me if I'm wrong. So maybe we can also consider that as part of a measurable success.
Again, could you repeat that? You were lagging for me at least, when you said the
measurable
perhaps
success.
iHands 1K a day can be considered part of the measurable success.
Yeah, that's great.
That's true.
And BJ, you wrote a nice post as well in the elite community after the event. We also met in 2019 at the same event, so that was great too.
Yeah, it was a great event, both events. And I had a mentor back in the days who said, when you go to an event, you don't need 100 ideas. You just need one idea that can take your business to new heights. So like the 2 previous events I went, I got one idea from a previous event, Jacob's event in Lake Tahoe. and I found a code for Ingram Spark I didn't know, a discount code, talking to a guy next to me. And I used it for hundreds of books. That saved me a lot of money. I went to Peter's event. Obviously, I learned how to build a team the right way. You know, one person component, focusing on one component of the business. So now my business is running more smoothly. Business have grown like 10 to 20%. And also talked to someone, Sachin. He was at the last day of the event, and he told me like, "Hey, you should do A+ content." Like a lot of these answers, we know what we need to do, but sometimes you go to these events and you know re-emphasizes this is what you need to do. And and also lastly, there's not a lot of opportunities to meet like uh everyday publishers like us, you know, once a year. So take advantage of that. And lastly, it's an opportunity to take a break, go to Vegas or travel the country or whatnot. So everything, I highly recommend it.
Thank you, BJ. That's great insight. Andre?
Yeah, next one. Has anyone collaborated with Amazon influencers to do video reviews for your book?
Yes. That is something that I think a lot of publishers here have used.
Yeah, for me personally, I hired them in Fiverr. There are different price ranges. Depends on, some people are not showing their faces, some people are showing their faces. I prefer if they actually show their faces. Some people also, they put a lot of effort in editing the video. I'm not sure if this is necessary to have in masses, like masses, for example, 5 or so. I think one good edited video makes a good impression, but in general, I aim for like, if I see a book is selling well, then I go for the Amazon influencer reviews, and I go for like five Amazon influencer reviews, and then if it's worth to give more, I give the book more. Yeah, and I use Fiverr as I said.
Okay, next question, Andre.
Your microphone.
So, yeah, a lot of people are talking about the hotels and where the best place to stay is. I think we found a few good ones. So if you scroll through the Zoom chat and you're looking for yourself for a hotel, you can find a few good ideas there. I also posted the one we are in, Tim. It's very, yeah, that's like 2 minutes away at great price. So yeah. But
I can maybe share how I shot our amazing price. I used Hotwire, and on Hotwire you can basically filter by area or in Las Vegas, and then you can get a good deal, but it's 1 out of 3 hotels. But then there's another site, betterbidding.com, and betterbidding.com can basically, they give you their best guess, which hotel of the 3 it is, and then you can basically see which hotel you will get. It's not 100%. But for us, it showed the Mardi Gras Hotel, and it ended up being the Mardi Gras Hotel, which is 3 minutes by foot to the event.
Yeah, so for the people on YouTube watching, Chris writes, check out Resorts World, the Sahara or Westgate hotels. And next, got a very good deal next door to the Event Hotel, Spiegel's Bagalamania, you must visit. And then we have Mardi Gras Hotel and Casino. It's like 2 minutes walking. Betterbidding.com and Trivago.deals. Okay.
Next question, again from BJ. Any tips on scaling a Facebook ads and Amazon ad in terms of spending more to make more? Q4 wise, September and October for me now, I drove down a lot of Amazon ads. I optimized down the bits and run up my Facebook ads. I'm now spending 250 euros a day on Facebook. It's going really crazy, especially Q4 is perfect for Facebook ads. So how do you scale them? You look at how much you pay per sale. If you pay below $10 for one sale on Facebook, you normally can scale and scale and scale. So I have the number. If it's less than 3 times or 3.5 times my royalties, I can keep scaling the Facebook ads, because the organic boost you get is so valuable that you can pay up to 3.5 times your royalties to get one sale from Facebook. So you can spend
So do
quite a
you,
lot.
for example, do you look at a campaign that's doing well on Facebook? Let's say starting on $5 a budget a day. What would be the process? The next day jump all the way to 50, or like little at a time, 10, 20, like
I do think the biggest jumps are maybe, I normally test them with $5, yeah. Then I jump to 15, then I jump to 25 normally. And then it depends how well they're doing, from 25 maybe to 30, 35, and then to 50. So I don't make bigger jumps than like $15 a day, but you can do daily a little bit. You can also do bigger jumps, I think. Don't see why not. But
and
I
it's
do it
okay to use
step
the
by step.
same campaign to just increase the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to change too much for a campaign. I also learned that when I learned Facebook ads like 6, 7 years ago, they told me not to change anything. But in my experience, if you only change the budget, it will just get better normally. And not, of course, if you like jump from 50 to 100, then you reach so many more people that the percentage of the conversion will go down, because you have just a colder audience you target. But you don't lose the good people in a way. If you need to change the link or something, or the image, I would duplicate the campaign and then work in the copy of it. Yeah.
Now it seems for Facebook ads, if you increase the budget, it works. But Amazon, my experience, if I increase the budget, it doesn't really change anything. Is that how you do it though? To
And
scale
the budget on
Amazon?
Amazon isn't the budget. I think Gerald thinks the same. Tim and Peter think also the budget is not an important metric. The budget is just the upper limit. Your bids decide how much you spend. Of course, if you have $20 budget and it hits that at lunch, then you don't spend more this day. But if you have 2,000 daily budget and your bids are like 50 cents, you also will maybe spend $5, $10, $15. So I normally do my budget as high not as possible, but I do it like 100, and I know I won't spend more than 20. But if I spend more than 20, then at least I have room for that and don't limit it, because if it has a good ACOS, I want to spend as much as possible on Amazon. So yeah, budget isn't an important metric on Amazon. On Facebook, it's everything, because Facebook spends exactly what you give them, but Amazon works with bits, so it doesn't do that.
By the way, thank you, Andre. I
How
finally
do
figured out how to do Facebook ads. I'm seeing the stats on purchases on attribution with a deep link, all that, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the tracking is really nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you. Gerald, what about you on Amazon ads? Any tips on scaling it, spending more to make more?
Yes, just to add to that, I had more success scaling campaigns by trying to be a bit creative with how I'm targeting. So we always do the basic targets, keyword phrase, exact broad, product expanded, maybe a category, and that's it, right? But the more match types you try out, especially during Q4, usually the better. So a very easy way to just increase your overall spend and make more is create multiple expanded campaigns. So category campaigns. You can create a campaign, put in all 3 versions of your book, Kindle, paperback, hardback, choose a lot of categories. You can even filter your categories so that you're targeting books within 1 to 4 stars or books that are higher priced than yours. But you want to have many of them running at very low bids, right? So the the, the more broad you're targeting, usually the better, especially during Q4 season. And this applies also not just to categories, but to every possible match type. You also want to try out campaigns using only gift-based keywords alone, perhaps. Right now, Halloween is coming up, so I'm using like, okay, ChatGPT, give me like 300 Halloween-based keywords that could fit into this book, right? And I run broad targeting, multi-format campaigns to a particular book with 300 different keywords. but at 16-cent bids or 21-cent bids. And every now and then you'll get a sale, and then you're going to spend a bit more, right? And if you want to scale that, then you just increase the bids of all hundreds of those targets by 3 cents, and then you can continue pushing that book by scaling in this manner, right? So I would, the way to spend more on Amazon is make sure your fishnet is as wide as possible. Start out with little small bids, and then just increase all of them at the same time if you want to keep scaling that campaign that's working.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, next question. How many questions do we want to do? Do we do a last 3 questions?
We can continue a little bit longer. We can maybe take the questions a little bit faster towards the end if needed.
Yeah. Is there a way to stay in touch with the other participants after the event?
Yes, we have the WhatsApp group, like Tim mentioned, so I think that's a great way. Otherwise, usually maybe you can give the person the contact details. Otherwise, I think Facebook is a great way. I remember from 2019, people added me there, or I added people. So yeah, definitely.
Normally, if you have a good conversation with a person at the event, you exchange numbers and then stay in touch. That was what happened to me with Barry, for example. And then we just wrote on WhatsApp, and then I meet him in Cyprus when I was there. So it's just also natural that you stay in touch. Next question: how many targets do you recommend per advertising campaign on Amazon? Maybe it's again for Gerald.
Yeah.
Okay, so it really depends on the type of book, right? The strategy you're doing. I recommend having campaigns that are very niche down, very few targets, but also campaigns that have hundreds or up to 1,000 different targets, right? So if you're doing keyword product exact, sorry, product exact campaigns, obviously you don't want to have too many, maybe 20, 30, the most relevant books that you want to target. Those are your product exacts. But that strategy is more of a ranking strategy, right? You want to appear right underneath your competitors. You want to see if you can undercut them. But then you can also have a very wide net strategy, which is doing the category thing that I mentioned, and just getting many categories and as many, getting into as many categories as possible with very low bids. So have campaigns that do both, that have a few targets and that also have tons of targets for the same book. And then you will see what kind of strategy works best for your book. Funnily enough, if your book normally doesn't work with one strategy, it almost always works with a wide net, low bid strategy. I call it lottery strategy, right? So there's always a way to make it work, so long as your book is in a good niche and has at least 20 reviews, then we can make it work.
Okay, next question.
Okay, we'll be covering different niche types: high content, medium content. Yes, we will cover, I think, everything. I think even fiction can take something from it. Also in DP, we have fiction publishers there. So we will cover high content, medium content. Yeah. Maybe you have something to add.
Yeah, Brian, who I mentioned earlier, who I spoke to earlier today, he is doing medium content, and I think his top book was $1 million, and that was a medium content book. I know he made $1 million from one book, and I think that was a medium content book. So I'm looking forward to hearing from him and asking him questions about medium content. And Gerald is, of course, also very experienced in medium content. And you, Andre, of course, as well.
Yeah.
Test. Maybe I can chip in a question from the YouTube chat again. Made 200K gross royalties publishing fiction from 2012 to 2017. Had to quit because could no longer turn a profit in the end. Are you doing fiction? If not, who would be worth a follow or to connect with? I personally am not publishing fiction yet, but who I consume on YouTube for writing content, AI writing content, is the guy's called The Nerdy Novelist. Yes, some good content on leveraging AI in the writing process. Also for fiction, he writes fiction. Yeah, that's what I can say. But in general, I think a lot of the stuff we talk about, even though I wouldn't say most of us publish nonfiction, but let's take Peter, for example. It's still all the marketing stuff that can also be applied to fiction. But I think fiction nowadays, TikTok, if you can master TikTok and you publish fiction, that seems to be like at the moment a big lever for fiction authors.
Yeah, I also think that you can benefit a lot from what you're going to see in the event. TikTok side of things is great for fiction. Fiction-wise, to make it work financially, you need to have a backlist. You need to have a backlist of books, a lot of series, have them ideally all on the Kindle Unlimited, and just make sure that your story is good. If your story is good and you have a series, maybe at least 3 or 4 books and a backlist, you can make it work with very low bid, wide casting campaigns. And this is actually where we get most of these campaigns from, is from the fiction world, because these are the only campaigns that can work for fiction authors, especially like in the US market, right? In markets like Germany and others, you can still make it work without these kind of campaigns. But if you use these campaigns for fiction, then it is possible to turn in profits. You just need to have email list and backlist to make it work. Because with a single title, I think nowadays it's very hard to turn in profits with fiction, unless you have outside traffic.
Next one. Is the event also suitable for someone who has just published the first book, or is it more for advanced publishers?
Yeah, there will be a lot of advanced publishers coming, but that doesn't make it uninteresting for people just starting out. So everyone is welcome, including beginners, of course.
Okay, else do we have more from YouTube, maybe, Tim?
Oh. Maybe I can share my screen really quick. I'm collecting the names for the people who want to attend the raffle, who want to the chance to win the Las Vegas ticket. I've collected these names from the chat so far. If you don't see your name here and you wish to also be entered into the raffle giveaway for the Las Vegas ticket, feel free to drop a Vegas now in the chat. Yes, sir.
Yeah, while we're waiting, I saw we got a question from Mark. Strategies on back-end offers. And there I would say the first strategy is to look at competing brands, see if they have any back-end offers that would make sense, and aim to figure out if they're making good money from it. If you're in the fitness niche, finance niche, you will see many people selling courses, maybe some are affiliates, and I think the general strategy is to align it with the book so it becomes a natural conclusion. For example, if you're an accountant and you're writing accounting books and your goal is to sell your service as an accountant, and you want to make sure to mention that in the book, that hey, you can reach me here, or have them opt in, give away a bonus, something that would help them, complement the book in some way, and then follow up via email and sell the service that way. Any other strategies for this?
Yes, a good way I see a lot of German people do. It's not that common in the US market for some reason, but it's experts cooperations, so experts partnerships. If you, for example, want to write a book about learn how to play the piano, and you want it to be content-wise a great book, and you're not playing the piano or another piano teacher, it makes sense to reach out to a piano teacher and ask him if he wants to write the book together with you or for you. And then he's the co-author, or he's the author, and you then publish the book together and maybe make some kind of royalty split. Or better version would be he has a backend offer like an online piano class or something that he can sell. And then you have a great bonus for your book, because you could say, hey, the first piano class is cheaper price or even free. So that's a great bonus for everyone who buys the book gets a free piano lesson. Would be a crazy good bonus. And then he can sell in the piano lesson, for example, a subscription for every week, one online piano lesson for the person. You can then have a percentage of that sale. So cooperate partnerships with people who already have offers and have expertise and would give really a valuable offer for your target audience. I think that's the best way to do it in practice.
Yeah, great advice. I think we're ready for the raffle, Tim.
Yeah, I'm finished with questions. There's nothing in the chat I forgot.
We prepare the random wheel. Okay. This is very fun. I feel like I'm already in Las Vegas and spinning the roulette wheel here. Hey, I guess ready. Any last people who want to enter the raffle? Did I miss somebody? Somebody missing their name and list on the right side? No. Okay, guys. Good luck to everybody. Ay, ay, ay. That's a close one.
Okay.
Congratulations, Don.
Yeah.
I will gonna message you privately inside Zoom. You can give me your email address, and then we can handle all the communication via email. Okay. Rob, email. To everybody else who didn't win now, you still have the chance to, I think it's 24 hours from this live stream. It's until October 10th, 11:59 p.m. You have the chance to still get the early bird pricing, which is a reduced price of minus 36%. Okay, perfect.
And you get a lot of bonuses too. You get the Barcelona recording, as I said, and more. If you click on the page there, you can see all the bonuses you get as an early bird member. Because they also will, the price will go up and the bonuses will also vanish in 24 hours.
Yeah, hope to see some of you there. We will see many of you there. And yeah, it's just 15 days more or less. Then we will meet up.
Oh yeah.
Any
Very exciting.
Yeah, final words, thoughts from anyone? All right, let's wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for attending. Yeah, Tim, go ahead.
Thank you.
Just wanted to mention,
Vegas, guys.
John, I will send you an email right after this call with all the details.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
See you guys. Great seeing you. Bye-bye.
Need to do a raffle more often.
Oh yeah, that's right.